Hello, hello everyone. Very special matinee session we have on today. So I just wanted to take a moment to welcome all the new members that have recently come into the group. We're so glad that you're here, and if you've come into this group, you're probably needing help in some area of your life with your health, whether you have Hashimoto's, hypothyroidism, sluggish thyroid, Graves' disease, hyperthyroidism, or any other thing relating to symptoms of thyroid issues. So I would just love you to drop in a comment of what you're actually struggling with right now. Is it sleep? Is it digestive issues? Is it fatigue? What's actually going on for you so that we can actually help you. Now, I just would like to also advise you that I have two beautiful co-workers, two beautiful team members, Shell Fondavilla and Leanne O'Sullivan, and they may have already been in contact with you. So if they haven't, they most likely will be. The reason my team members reach out to you is so that we can connect to see if what we do is going to be aligned to actually support you with where you are now to how you want to be, how you want to feel, where you want to go with your health. So we just connect in with you so that we can support you with what you're going on with right now, to send you a past live training, to send you a little ebook, to send you a recipe, whatever it is that's going on, so that you can be supported and just to get to know us and understand what we do. That being said, I do have a thyroid restoration roadmap, which is a 4-month plan and pathway, which helps people, move through and shift through their thyroid challenges, finding the root cause, working out, what's actually sabotaging their health, what's exacerbating it, and really utilizing all the tools to move forward. So that actual program is currently closed. However, it will reopen in a couple of months' time. And in the meantime, we have other smaller containers that we can support you with, some smaller sessions that we can actually support you with what you're going on with what's going on with you right now, so that you can have some symptom relief. Alrighty, so let's just dive into it. So whether you're coming in on the replay or watching this live, I'd love you to just 2 feet on the ground and just take a nice deep breath. Right now, no other distractions. I want you to really connect in with this live training, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, okay? And the reason for that is because this is actually one of the foundational layers, is to connect into the present moment with what you're actually doing. And I'm going to break it down and explain the reasons why. So 2 feet on the ground, and just take a nice deep breath in. You might want to stretch your body. You might have a few little niggles. Just get yourself nice and comfortable and grounded so that you can really feel into this moment and take what you need through this live training. Because when our mind is pulled in a few different directions, we're actually not truly multitasking. We're just doing many things in a fast sequential order, which basically also means that we're not focusing on the present moment as efficiently. All right. Okay. So welcome, welcome, welcome. And I would love to know if you're ready to explore beyond the symptoms. And if that is so, just drop a heart. Just drop a heart in the comments, because many of you are suffering right now with fatigue, with digestive issues, with a rapid heartbeat, with anxiety, with overwhelm, with bloatedness. Okay? with sleep issues, potentially insomnia, unrefreshed sleep. There might be some other physical ailments like hair fall, dry skin, chipped nails. All of these are in some way or form are related to thyroid and endocrine issues because they link through from the foundational layers, okay? Right. So if you're ready to explore beyond the symptoms, just drop a heart. Okay, beautiful, fantastic, gorgeous. All right, so what are the foundational layers? What are the foundational layers? You know, and you might be thinking, oh, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I've got all that down pat. Yeah, know that. Give me the supplement. Give me the shiny new object. Well, guess what? That is only going to work for a short period of time and it may not even work. Okay, so this is why I deliver a program which includes a lot of bespoke one-on-one support across a period of time because we're complex and there's a lot going on. And we don't want to be just taking a supplement, taking yet another supplement, adding another thing to the pile when we don't even know whether what we're taking is working or even if we need it. I'm just going to give you a little example. One of my beautiful clients who's has had great progress. She's just about to finish up. She finishes up at the end of next week, right? She stayed in my thyroid restoration roadmap for the first 4 months and then extended for another 6 months. We did 2 rounds of testing. Okay. Now, you may know that in a lot of thyroid supporting supplements, we have the mineral zinc. Why? Because zinc actually helps T4 to convert to T3. It also helps our neurotransmitters. It also helps our hydrochloric acids. It helps our digestion. So it kind of ticks a lot of boxes. And a lot of women are deficient in zinc. If you're vegan, you're most likely deficient in zinc. So it's kind of like one of those things that you think, okay, well, that zinc in that formula is probably going to do me some good. Now, for this particular lady, zinc was sky high and it came up through the functional reports. Okay. And we wouldn't have known. There wasn't any symptom picture that gave us that conclusion. But what we did know is because I know that zinc is an antagonist to copper, this lady's copper was bottomed out. And this person also suffers from bacterial dysbiosis and gut infections through bacteria, not parasites, right? There's a big difference there. And we know that copper is a very protective mineral and it helps to correct dysbiosis. So straight away, it's like, okay, where's the zinc coming in? You know, what's happening here? All right. So we know that if we rebalance those minerals, which are a structural foundational backbone, we know that all the gut protocols that we've been doing is actually going to now work. Let me ask you the question, who here has long-standing gut issues and you've been on the same protocol forever and a day? It might even be years. If that is the case, just type gut, just let me know that you've been on a gut protocol. All right? Because sometimes, you know, we're doing all of the things and it's not getting anywhere because the foundations aren't correct. The foundations aren't solid. We may not have the backbone of minerals in place. We may not have integral cell membrane layers because the first foundational layer is physical. We're looking at the physical, food, movement, sleep, hydration, the physicality of what's going on in our body, our digestion. How well is it working? Our cell membrane health, how well are we absorbing? All right. So we find out what's going on through the first layer, the physical layer, through understanding what's going on in your body, through a combination of functional testing and really drilling down into your signs and symptoms. And, not everything comes up through the first level of functional testing, because there are so many different areas. There can be hair, saliva, your urine, blood, stool analysis, depending on what we're trying to glean with what's going on in your body, right? So this is why I do this. This is why we do this, because you might have been doing a multitude of protocols for several years now, but really not getting ahead with finding your root cause and correcting your thyroid, amongst other chronic health issues. All right. So, I'd love to hear from you, and it may not be a gut protocol, it might be something else. You might be taking a thyroid supplement and you've been taking that for several years and you're not really noticing any benefit, or you might be noticing some benefit, but how long is a piece of string? How long do you stay on this supplement? When is it time for you to start looking beneath the supplements and seeing what's actually needing the repair? All right. So the next layer is the mental and emotional layer. Our response to stress, our internal dialogue, our mindset, and our belief patterns, which may not even be ours, they might actually come from our parents or from our community or from just any number of things, they actually play a role. They play a role in your decision making. They play a role in, whether you're looking after yourself to the highest degree or not. So this layer is really important, because if we're just doing all the physical things without actually, working on our mindset, working on our self-worth, well, then we're not really truly going to be taking care of ourselves to the highest capacity that we can, because our self-worth isn't there. Does that make sense? Because 99% of clients that I work with thyroid issues also have self-worth issues, or self-worth, elements of their self-worth that really need nurturing. Okay. So this is it's a very important layer, and this is what is threaded through when we're actually repairing these layers. We're not just taking the supplement. The supplement is actually not going to fix you. You're going to fix yourself. You're going to heal yourself. The supplement is an aid. It's an aid to help you while you're working on those foundational layers. But if you're just taking those without paying attention to what's going on underneath, unfortunately, and I say this with all due respect, you're actually missing the point. The point of this journey, there's a reason why you have a thyroid issue. Your body is actually trying to tell you something. And if you're not listening, the symptoms will continue to show up. The supplements will only mask them for a period of time. Now, clearly, I'm speaking very broadly here. Okay, I'm speaking very broadly because sometimes, like when we have a particular issue that has shown up through pathology or through, functional testing, yes, of course, we may need a supplementary plan to help eradicate, to help fix that issue, to help heal that layer. However, we're never doing that without the inner and deeper work. And you know what? We're all autonomous. We all are capable of making our own decisions. So it is actually your decision how deep you want to go. But just being present and being quiet and being still and listening actually allows you to seek information from your body. because our body's always communicating back to us. That's why we have what's called these, negative pathway loops. So for example, with the thyroid, the initiator comes from the pituitary gland. Well, actually, the hypothalamus and then the pituitary gland. So our thought processes actually dictate how the cascade in the hormones. Very much so. Also, what's going on in the blood, because as that passes through the hypothalamus, which is the brain's brain, like the higher order of the brain, that's where the body's able to interpret, oh, what's going on? Oh, okay, this, oh, too cold, needs warming up, or to this or to that. And that's what happens. That's the initiator to secrete the thyroid stimulating hormone, which then goes from the pituitary gland to secrete the thyroid hormones from the thyroid gland. And when we've got enough of X, Y, Z, there's a feedback loop that goes back up to the brain's brain that says, okay, enough, we can cut that off now. So this is never meant to be stagnant. It's always kind of like a working in progress, okay? And our inner dialogue and our emotional responses and our mental thought processes play a role. So layer 3 is our soulful, our energetic layer. Okay, so our intuition, our heart consciousness, heart intelligence. How connected is your heart intelligence or your consciousness in your heart, your seat of intuition, with your brain? I like to see the brain as the masculine and the heart is the feminine, and we need both. Okay, but what we don't want is to run away in our mind with the story, which can create anxiety, can create stress, can create poor responses, poor choices, because we're in panic mode and we're in anxiety, and then we're in overwhelm, and then we're in meltdown. Because what that does is that taxes the adrenals, which plays into the thyroid and your blood sugar and your cardiovascular system and your digestive system. So when is it time to pull back? So being really connected into your body wisdom, your seat of intuition, allows you to feel into your body and understand when to pull back. What do I mean by pull back? Take the foot off the pedal. Go have a day off. Nurture yourself in some way or form. And you may only have 5 minutes. Like, we all have different stories. We all have different lives. Some of you might have seven or 8 kids. Other people may have, they're a carer and looking after someone, or a stressful job, or X, Y, Z. Like, we all have completely different scenarios. So this is where it's really important that, we may have obligations and commitments and responsibilities, but then we find the spaces in between to nurture ourselves so that we have the capacity to act rather than react. Right? Now, I say this, now, have I sorted it? Have I figured it all out? Am I absolutely gold star in this area? Oh my goodness, absolutely no way. Like, hello. I'm human, just like all of you. Like, there's trials and tribulations all the time. But this is the thing, like, we can either react and put ourselves under this stress, or we can get curious and actually see what's going on in our body and see how we can moderate that response. Because when we're able to moderate the response, what happens is we build capacity and we build resilience. And when we build capacity and we build resilience, we take pressure off the cortisol, because the cortisol is just kind of like, oh yeah, no, she knows what she's doing. We don't need that alarm response. We don't need that stress response. So therefore, the digestive system is nice and calm. Everything is a lot calmer. Nothing's in fight, flight. Nothing's too, like, full-on overwhelm anxiety. Does this make sense? Seriously, does this make sense? I'd love to know if this makes sense. Like, this is a learned journey. Like, we're on the journey and we're always learning about ourselves and understanding. And it's only through the conscious awareness that we can actually become our best teacher to understand what's going on. All right. So we want that coherence between our brain and in our heart. I was speaking to a lady yesterday. I did a talk at the Wellness Path, and I was talking to a lady there who said, you know what, when you've got 1,000 things to do and you've got responsibilities and you've got your business to operate, how do you take care of yourself? You know, and this person said, you know, when my calendar is full, it's absolutely chockers. And then when it's not in the calendar, I think, okay, what am I going to do? You know, what do I do for self-care? And I said, okay, so here's what we do in that situation. Number one, shorten your calendar because you're already at full capacity, you're overworked. So shorten your calendar and create some blocks, some time blocks in your calendar. And then separately, journal what really truly fills your cup. It might be a nice cup of herbal tea. It might be 5 minutes laying on the grass in the sun. It might be an Epsom salt bath. It might be some yoga stretches or a sequence of yoga. Like there are so many different things and we're all different. It's about having a toolbox and honoring ourselves rather than like the amount of people that I say, oh yeah, I know that, I do that. Okay. Yeah, you know, arguably we all know that, we all do that. However, are you honoring yourself with those tools at the time you truly need them? Or are you too much in your head and saying, I know that, I do that, I've done that, tick, 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 what else you got? This is where it's at, ladies. This is where it's at. This is actually why we're here, to learn more about ourselves and understand our journey and our life's purpose. And the thyroid condition is not separate from any of that. It is absolutely pertinent. It has a role to play. So then let me ask you the question. Which of these 3 layers need more attention right now? Is it the physical layer, your body? Is it through food, movement, sleep, hydration? Or actually understanding what's going on in your body at the biological layer? Is it layer 2, the mental, emotional, your inner dialogue, mindset, stress, response, challenging your own belief patterns? Or is it like the energetic, you know, I don't want to call it the spiritual layer because that can mean different things to different people, but the soulful energetic layer, you know, like your consciousness, you know, your seat of intuition, your inner knowing, your inner knowing. And is that coherent with the story in your mind? These are the 3 layers. So yeah, whether you're watching on the replay or watching this live now, which layer needs tending to the most? Hey Vanessa, so lovely to see you. I just sent you a message earlier through Messenger. Hope you've received that. Yeah, I'd really love to yeah, just, you know, like feedback, like, you know, you ladies watching this, if you come back to me with some questions, some feedback with where you're at, I can come back to you privately or through this channel to help you. That's my role. That's why I'm here. Okay. Now I wanted to move into this next part, which is really anchoring into the terrain. Now, what do I mean by the terrain? The terrain is the matrix of your body, the infrastructure. It is the minerals that are in your body, how balanced they are, the vitamins, if they're being absorbed, if they're coming through optimally through food and the choices through your food and the way you prepare your food. Okay. The terrain is also your microbiome. So skipping the foundational work is like planting seeds in a dry, depleted soil. There's no point taking a supplement if we don't know, if we don't have sound digestion. If we're not absorbing correctly, if we're not calming our body so that our body is open to receive. Okay, so our terrain is the matrix of our body. And we rebuild this ecology by listening into those three layers: the physical layer, the mental emotional layer, the soulful energetic layer. Because if our body is, just to give you an example, if our body is inflamed, we're not going to be able to absorb nutrients. If you're wanting to learn more about the oil that I'm using, and I have every one of my clients on right now, and I have every member of my family, actually except 2 members, almost every member of my family on right now. You know what? Your family are always the hardest to convince. They're like, no, I know better. Anyway, yeah, all good. You just try to help, right? So many people are switching over to this omega-3. So if you're wanting to learn more about the omega-3, just type in the comments omega-3. The live training I did several weeks ago now with Lindsay, that's been deleted by Facebook. Facebook do that. They just, every month they delete a handful of your videos. I think it's a free platform, let's face it, and they just clear up their storage. So we actually record all of our videos, and guess what? We put them on my YouTube channel. So if you're wanting to watch this very informative omega-3 training, where both Lindsay, who's an integrative health practitioner, and myself had a discussion around this oil and why it's innovative and why it's different and why it's going to be helping so many people and has helped so many people of Lindsay's, just type omega-3 training, and what we'll do is we'll send you the link, which is now on our YouTube channel, but we'll just pop it into your messenger so that you've got it there, because it's really important information to know. Whether you go on the oil or not is your decision, but this is something that I can help you with externally to the Thyroid Restoration Roadmap. So you could actually start to build one of the foundational pillars in the physical layer of your health today. Because if our cell membranes are not tight and integrative, I don't think that's a word, intact, I meant, well, then we're not going to absorb water as well. We're not going to absorb our nutrients as well. We're not going to be able to efflux our toxins as well. Not as efficiently, not as effectively, especially if our oil is not in balance. And 99% of people are unbalanced. I've had a few clients come back that are semi-balanced, and I'm like, yeah, you're doing something right, because none of them have been on any omega-3 supplements. So it's coming through amazing foods, and we're all very different, okay? All right, so just let me know, and we'll pop that training here. Oh, beautiful. So Shell's already popped oh, that's my YouTube link. Fantastic. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, we'll just send it to you in the inbox. All right, so if you know that something in your nervous system needs supporting, something in your digestive system, that your body's not receiving things, there's a likelihood that we need to really drill down into the terrain and understand and strengthen the soil. So we don't want to just add more supplements. We need to strengthen. So what I mean by that is that this foundational pillar really leans into the type of food that you're eating, whether you're having too many yeast forming foods, are there enough prebiotic fibers? Are there enough polyphenols coming through your diet? What's the ratio of protein to carbohydrate? So there's so much to think about, and it really does depend on what's going on in your body. So this generally warrants some functional testing. However, typically, based on your symptom picture, I can give you a really good head start and I have a beautiful offering at the end. So if you stay on till the end, I'll deliver that for you, just to give you a kickstart into your health journey. Okay, so just type terrain in the comments if you are aware that, you know, some of these foundational pillars need nurturing. All right, so here's your 3-step plan. And I've already lent into this earlier. So step 1 is having the awareness, understanding and identifying the dominant stresses, patterns, and roadblocks in your current health picture. You know, what is it that's sabotaging your ability to get well? Is it too much work? Is it your insomnia? Is it some sort of pain that's showing up in your body? You know, what is it that's going on? Is it flatline fatigue? All right, so understanding and just gaining that acute awareness. Because if the thyroid is still okay and it's on the way out, you've absolutely got ample time. I'm not going to say ample time, I shouldn't have said that, but you've actually got a golden opportunity to turn that ship around, right? This is what I did. So I had a sluggish thyroid, and because I knew what to do for myself, I was able to really halt that progression to hypothyroidism. So I was able to halt that progression because it would have actually gone that way, 100%. Okay? So awareness is key. Awareness. So how do we gain awareness? We tune in. We tune into our body. Even a couple of times daily, just block it out to actually lay on the floor, hand on heart, listen to some music that you resonate with, and tune into your body. Even ask your body, what do you need right now? Hey, body, what do you need right now? Step 2 is to nourish your nervous system. So important. The link between nervous system and thyroid abnormalities, thyroid issues, thyroid challenges, thyroid disease is huge. The number one feature of you know, chicken and egg scenario, what came first? It's generally an insurmountable amount of stress, poor stress response mechanisms, poor coping mechanisms, and over time it just wears the body down, and then the thyroid goes, I'm out, I'm done. So wherever you are on your health timeline with your current health picture and where your thyroid is sitting right now, nourishing your nervous system is absolutely crucial. And that would be my step 2 for you. Without knowing anything about your health, that would be my step 1. Step 1 is awareness. So you're finding you're actually really getting that acute knowledge of what's going on. You're learning more wisdom through your body. Your body's always on your side. It's trying to tell you what's going on. Listen in. Step 2 is nourish your nervous system, because all orchestrators of your hormones at some point in time comes from that higher center, which is the brain, which is your perceived stress or your real stress, your action from your thought patterning. So if we can soothe and nourish our nervous system, we're going to respond more moderately. We're going to realize that it's, you know, it's actually, the world's not going to end right now. And I do have a roof over my head, and I do have food in my fridge, and I do have a nice warm hot shower, you know, so we can moderate our response. Now I'm just playing there, like obviously there's different scenarios, but on the spectrum of stress, it's our response that actually causes the issues. So nurturing our nervous system is absolutely crucial and key. So that's step 2. Step 3 is to restore your rhythms. This is here I'm talking about things like your sleep, like your circadian rhythm, your digestive rhythm, your energy flow. Now, are you doing something or trying to do something that's really out of alignment to what your body truly needs? Now, this might sound quite superficial, but it's actually very profound. And this is all rooted in these 3 foundational layers. This 3-step plan is rooted in healing the 3 foundational layers: physical, mental, emotional, and soulful, energetic. Now, I had a lovely chat to a lady the other day who came in on my $99 consult, and just from watching these live trainings over the past 6 months, she is doing incredibly well. She is taking back her power so incredibly well and has made so many amazing moves for her health and wellness. And she now has a plan for her to actually wean herself off the medication. All right. So this is actually what's possible if we do the inner work, if we do the foundational work. Now, you may be a little confused still. That's okay. You may be absolutely in alignment and understand what I'm talking about. That's great. So if you're a little confused or you're just unsure or you're still unclear about these 3 steps and how they can help you and how they can begin to heal the 3 foundational layers to your healing, I'd love to invite you to take up this offer, which is a $99 consultation. So with this consultation, there's a couple of steps. The first step is you book in, it'll cost you $99. That's your investment. The second step is we will send you an initial form, which is a 6-page questionnaire, which really dives deep into your health history, what medications you're taking, supplements you're taking, all of the things with the health history, so that we're not wasting time on the call obtaining that data. And that automatically will be sent to me. Okay. And then we have a 45-minute call together over Zoom so that I can create a treatment plan for you based on the information we have so far and based on what your major signs and symptoms are. And with this treatment plan, I'm going to be delving into these foundational layers to give you 3 steps that are more personalized, more tailored for you to really take on board and start to implement in your life. And should you take up this offer and do these 3 steps, across the next couple of months, you're going to be in a better place and a better position on the physical, mental, emotional, and soulful energetic levels to receive a more detailed treatment plan should you decide to come and work with us in the Thyroid Restoration Roadmap when that reopens in September. Now, you don't have to, but of course, there's an invitation for you to continue and come into our roadmap in September. But this would be a great place for you to start. Okay, so with that, if you're watching the replay, this offer is extending across the time until September at least for now. There's very limited space in July because I'm actually away for a few weeks. Haven't had a holiday for a long time. I'm actually taking some rest, and I'm actually going on a spiritual retreat overseas. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm doing a bit of recuperation and inner exploration myself so that I can be a better version of myself, so that I can be a better place to serve others. So that's actually what I'm doing. I'm doing a kind of like a pilgrimage journey in July. So that's what I'm doing. But there's a couple of spots between now and then, and also there's a couple of spots, well, there's more spots in late July, early August, should you wish to book in for that. So just drop 99 and we'll send you the link and you can get that going. All right, well, I hope you've enjoyed this live training. I'd love some feedback. Please ask all of the questions. Please look out for my teammates, Shell and Leanne. They're here to support you. They're here to help you. You know, like if you're just wanting to sit on the sidelines, just let them know and they'll stop messaging you. That's all good. You know, we're here to provide this free platform for you to get what you need. And should you need more support in working with us in any way or form, we're here for that. If you're wanting to just obtain more information and more learnings, ask some questions, because I've been running this group now for a couple of years and we've done so many live trainings. We've got, I don't know, about 80 different live trainings. Mind you, Facebook are deleting them, but we've got them in our YouTube channel as well. So, you know, it's a little bit of a finding a needle in a haystack. So if you ask our team, Shell or Leanne, they'll be able to pinpoint exactly what you need and send you the most prominent live training for where you're at right now and what you're actually needing information on to shift through on your health. Alrighty, so that's it from me. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Brand new time, this matinee session. I'm not sure whether we're going to continue with this time, but I wanted to do a daytime session for a change. And we'll see you next time. All right, bye for now.